X, formerly Twitter, we are at news_93 FM. To advertise with us, please call our sales agents at 876-427-9955. And you may also email our sales department at newstalk93fmsales@gmail.com. My opening commentary comes up in a moment, and at 10:10 we'll be getting some perspectives and reactions to the nationwide Blue Dot polls that are being unveiled. We'll be joined by a public affairs commentator, Dr. Nadine Spence, in that regard at 10:10. And then at 11:10 this morning, we will be joined by the University Registrar, Dr. Donovan Stanberry, to treat with this initiative, UA Star Short-Term Academic Resources initiative. Yes, so he'll be with us to tell us more about what this innovative platform and what the broader vision underpinning this entails. Yes, so that's 11:10. So remember, phone lines though will be open at 10:30 and at 11:30. My commentary commences now and goes through to 10. One of the surest ways, listeners, of gauging and getting a good sense as to what is happening in a country is to just monitor the media and scan the media landscape. When I came in this morning, I took up the dailies, the Daily Gleaner and the Daily Observer. And I have been observing that while we have from time to time reportage of incidents of murder and mayhem, not dissimilar to what we would have had a couple weeks ago in respect of young Cassidy Farragon from Joblin, and then yesterday morning this 8-year-old boy who was found deceased in the Gerger Park area. Yeah, body found in a car. So we do from time to time have those incidents and disturbing stories that come through. When you juxtapose, however, what has been emerging in the media landscape, and if you look to the daily newspapers each day, when you juxtapose it with where we have been as a country, you realize that there is now a detectable and palpable difference. In other words, the overwhelming scourge of mayhem and violence, the manifestation of violence and murders in the country, that it's not happening in those ways. You're not looking on the front page of the Gleaner and seeing quadruple and triple murder and double murder, shot fly through face, marrow upon ground, blood around, mama tumble down. You're not seeing that. Mind you, the loss of any life, if it's even one, is the loss of one life too many. There's no doubt about that. However, to the extent that there are persons seeking to, bringing to doubt and cast aspersion otherwise on the official Jamaica Constabulary Force statistics as it relates to murders, well-thinking Jamaicans like myself, we condemn that kind of narrative. We condemn and reject in the strongest terms that kind of intimation and suggestion. It is rubbish. The Gleaner holds no brief for the government of Jamaica. The Observer holds no brief for the government. The Gleaner in particular would never hesitate to publish and publicize incidents of murder in the country. What does the Cleaner have on its front page this morning? When it don't have Hickey on front page, because that is what is in the news now in Jamaica. It's not the shutter fly through face, a marapang grung and blood a run. That's not what's making the news in Jamaica these days. That's stop keep. Or at least a serious dent is being put into that. So less blood a run pang grung. Less shutter fly through face. Less marrow splash out on wall. The front page of the Cleaner this morning reads, International invitation. UA bringing recruiters on board to boost enrollment of overseas students. Yes? That's what's on the front page. Of course, there are other couple items that I'm going to come to. That's also on the front page. On the front page of the Observer this morning, love in lockup. Radical prison reform proposals push conjugal visits for inmates. Yes? Period in 2024, there was 110 up to 26th May. The 37 murders relative to the 110 murders last year represent and constitute a 70% reduction. I start here this morning because it takes me to a disturbing development that came through the airwaves yesterday. Jamaica had news coming through late last afternoon of a massive gun interception, gun and ammunition interception. Nationwide news reports here. Yes? Largest gun seizure in Jamaica. 220 firearms, thousands of bullets intercepted. I received a message via WhatsApp this morning, listeners, which indicates that so far the ammunition count in relation to the quantity of ammunition intercepted yesterday, along with these guns, is in the order of 50,000. Think about it for a minute. 50,000 rounds of ammunition intercepted. And at least 220 guns. I would imagine that these are assorted weapons. Handguns, of course, high-powered rifle in some instances, and whatnot. So assorted weapons, but guns. And we know that it only takes one round of ammunition to take out someone. And there, as I'm gathering this morning, the count is that there is at least 50,000. That's the count so far. Count is in the order of 50,000 rounds of ammunition. That ammunition count is larger than the population of some Caribbean islands and indeed some countries around the world. St. Kitts and Nevis, for example, they don't have as many as 50,000 people, I think. So now, Nationwide says, NNN understands that the police have made what's being described as the biggest gun seizure in the country's history. It's understood that at least 220 guns were intercepted, making their way into the island at a location in Kingston. As a child who gave my fair share of I recall vividly many an exhortation from my parents or caregivers. You would often hear, or I, as many other Jamaicans can attest to, would often hear the Jamaican expression, who can hear, go and feel. Yeah, you would often hear that. The Prime Minister, as head of government, and the man leading the charge, has used the platforms time and again to telegraph to the Jamaican people, telegraph to the public, that a different JCF, a different law enforcement regime is in place and in Jamaica at this time. And that is consequent on the transformation that has been taking place with respect to the JCF in particular. In short, listeners, our law enforcement apparatus and architecture in the country is a different kettle of fish than it was 10, 20, 30 years ago. But some people are deaf. Some people not understand what go on. And some people still a try. The mantra is a simple one. If you are engaged in criminality, you are going to be detected, you are going to be ferreted out. And quite frankly, you will only have one of two options. Meet a judge pursuant to proceedings in our criminal justice system, or if you elect to take on the security forces and threaten their life and safety or that of any member of the public, you will meet your maker. Quite simple. Judge or maker. A data keep guy. So now, we know that there are persons among us who do not like what is happening in relation to the murder tally in the country. There are persons among us, let us not fool ourselves. Let us be under no illusion this morning or at any point in time that there are persons among us who are not pleased with the sustained reduction in murders. As a campaigning issue, as a political issue, as an issue of government stewardship, crime and murders in particular have always been in play in the political discourse and on the campaign platform here in Jamaica. That is not so this time around. So just think about it. Step back and think about it for a moment. There are some persons among us who are now without one of the biggest talking points in Jamaican politics that politicians would have had on the campaign platform over many elections. And all of a sudden, we are now embarked on an election cycle and on elections where the scourge of criminality, and in particular, the epidemic of violence and murders, incidents of murders, will not be a platform and a campaign tool. The PNP simply don't have that this time around. And I am submitting, I am positing, and I'm positing it in an unequivocal, unrelenting, and unyielding way, that there are some operatives here in Jamaica, and indeed outside of Jamaica, who don't like what is happening in relation to the murder tally in the country, primarily the sustained reductions in murders. There was an 8% reduction in murder in calendar year 2023. There was a 19% reduction in murders in calendar year 2024. And year to date, at the last check, the constabulary is advising us here in the public that there is a 43% reduction in murders. In fact, the National Security Minister, the one who they claimed was sleeping, I pity them to know, Father must tell them think a cool breeze. Go and think a cool breeze, guy. The National Security Minister, speaking on the occasion of the Police Federation's 82nd annual conference over there at the Princess Resort in Hanover, indicated to the men and women in attendance, and by virtue of media reports, it's now being indicated to us, that if this trajectory vis-a-vis murders in the country for 2025 continues to hold, Jamaica would have seen a sweeping and unprecedented reduction in murders from the 63 per 100,000 persons population to 10 per 100,000 persons. We would have come down from disturbing levels in terms of murder rate, which was 63 murders per 100,000 people, down all the way to 10 murders per 100,000 people. The average in Latin America and the Caribbean, I gather, is what? 16%? And the global average, I gather, is in the order of 20%. Ten murders per 100,000 population would take Jamaica below the 16 per 100,000, which is the regional average here in Latin America and the Caribbean, and it will take us below the global average as well. And some people, it is clear as day, don't like that. Now the question is, the media is reporting that there's at least 220 firearms, all kind of firearms, Glock and this and that, handguns and other types of guns that have been intercepted. They were destined here for Jamaica, and they were destined to get into the streets of Jamaica. The question is, who shipped those guns? Who is behind the shipment of those guns? We are responsible people on this program. We are responsible people when we have a platform such as this. We do not preempt the work of the police. The police, the investigative authorities, they are the competent and constituted authority in relation to policing work. Me there right now, I do a program presentation work. Me I present a program. That's my work. On a Friday, I go to the Senate. I'm in the lawmaking. That's my work. Dr. Kevin Blake and the men and women under his command at this hour, I do for them work. In my estimation, the question as to what has transpired here is something that come and a something that go. And all of us, as decent, patriotic, law-abiding, and well-thinking Jamaicans, would really like the police to make some headway as it relates to who, is behind this attempt to have gotten over 200 assorted guns into Jamaica, onto the streets of Jamaica on the eve of general elections in this country. Which desperado, which set of desperate and despicable people would be seeking to turn it up in Jamaica, to destabilize and stir up violence in Jamaica? Is it that persons are not comfortable with the sustained reductions in murders because it may not up and advance their political prospects, and as such they may be inclined to muddy the water a bit, stir it up a bit, and turn it up a bit? Remember that there are some politicians among us who are in the business of Machiavellian master strokes. There are some persons who are Machiavelli-like in their thinking and in their behavior and in their outlook, and they're very desperate people. With each announcement of reduction in murders, sustained reduction in murders, they see their chance at Jamaica House slipping away. Could it be that there are persons, for political reasons, who would have sought to bring in a cache of guns in the order of 220 so far as being reported by the media? Well, 220 guns it is, and 50,000 rounds of ammunition so far. We'll go to the break and pick up some more in commentary on the other side. Stay with us. education. I have never held a job in my life where I have been handling money or have anything to do with paying people or paying persons who do projects and whatnot. I cleared that up with one of them last week when he called into this program. Good morning, head boy. Ensconced over there in St. Kitts and Nevis. He's one of those persons who's in the diaspora who also makes certain disparaging comments. I heard him one night on another program, on this loose Andre Stevens program on social media, talking about Chinese, the influx of Chinese and all kinds of rubbish. Yeah? This is how they operate. And we know that there are some persons who simply do not welcome and do not like what is happening in Jamaica on the crime management front. They don't like it. 2 Mondays ago, Wilfred Rattigan, having been invited to this platform, spoke with my colleague, host Conrad O'Brien, in relation to murders. And that gentleman, Wilfred Rattigan, one of the persons who has a social media presence, and he finds, in my view, nothing good or complimentary to talk about where Jamaica is concerned. I suppose that it's because he is not a sympathizer of the JLP. Yeah? He appears to be a sympathizer of the PNP. It appears as though he's someone who may have been promised certain things were the PNP to form government. And it appears as though he is pandering to a level of increasing desperation, because like other commentators and observers in the PNP, he sees the prospects perhaps of whatever he may have had his eyes on or his sights on slipping away with each passing day. Jamaica relies on the Jamaica Constabulary Force for official statistics as it relates to murders. They are the competent authority in terms of aggregating the data. The reports come in to the police. Investigations are undertaken by the police. If a body is found and investigative work is to ensue, it's not me or you or Wilfred Rattigan who will go out and do it. It's the police. So what is your basis to suggest that the police has these various categories that they use to hide away and withhold data as it relates to murders in the country? When the police undertakes investigation and there is clear up or evidence that suggests that yes, this is an incident of murder and it took place on or about this time, then the appropriate classification and entry is made. The point to understand and the point to be made is that whatever they are alleging that the JSF is doing to hide, in their view, the true crime numbers, as I contended yesterday in relation to the Planning Institute of Jamaica and the measurements of poverty, it is quite evident that whatever data keep or whatever is keeping now with Horace Chung as National Security Minister is the same methodology that did keep when Peter Bunting was National Security Minister. That is the reality. How the police account for and record murders has not changed. A murder is a murder is a murder. That not change. So because you do not want to countenance the successes of the incumbent government as it relates to the crime management thrust in the country, you want to cast aspersions and suggest that the murder statistics are not reliable and are fabricated essentially. What rubbish. What level of desperation and vulgarity. And he went that same Monday and repeated the same rubbish on a YouTube program hosted by one of his cumbelos, Jeffrey Tavares, on a thing called Make We Talk. Yeah? So now, If there's a call, I'm all too happy to facilitate the call. So now, it is evident that there are persons who are seeking to bring into Jamaica a cache of assorted guns. I cannot wait, and I'm hoping that the authorities meet with some success in this regard, because the Jamaican people deserve to have the investments that the government has made into the investigative and crime management capabilities of the security forces yielding some dividends. Yes? We don't just want to intercept these weapons because a man might try again. What we really want is for serious inroads to be made in terms of the persons responsible being identified, being apprehended, and brought to justice. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Straight Up.
Yes, hi. Is this Marlon Morgan?
That is correct, sir. You're on air. Welcome to the program.
Yes. Hi. I'm known by the name of Brooks, too, if I would just remain to be called by that name.
What's the name?
I have a Browns too.
Very well, sir.
Who I am. I have a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
How come the members of the JLP haven't condemned any of the police shootings?
How come they haven't condemned any of the police shootings?
Yes. And how come the sexual registry is not public?
Mm-hmm. All right, excellent question,
It should
sir.
It should have been public a long time ago.
All right, excellent question, sir. So let's start with the first one. What do you understand in relation to a police shooting?
Well, where a police go into somebody's house and shoot them.
All right, so watch me now, sir. I don't know if you have had the benefit of listening to me on previous occasions, but on previous occasions, I have made the point that when you have an incident of police fatal shooting, it is a development that may either be lawful or unlawful. Do you accept that, sir? In other words, let me just be plain. When you have a police killing, it may be a police killing that is lawful or unlawful. Do you agree with me?
No, I don't agree, because how can you go up in somebody's house and shoot them? That is not lawful.
Sadie, sir, watch me now. Walk with me. What do you understand self-defense to mean and to be?
Self-defense, that is different. But when you have
hold on, man. Don't jump the gun, my general. We're still in the starters blocks. You there in a lane 3 and me there in a lane 4. I know how it goes. The athlete who in a lane 4 is the athlete who going to score. So watch me now. I am putting it to you, sir, that whenever the police has an interaction that results in a shooting, yes, a fatal shooting in particular, that development may either be lawful or unlawful. In many of these instances, sir, what we have are conflicting versions of events. So there are instances, sir, in respect of which the police say they went to a particular location, man was acting suspiciously, they went in pursuit of the man opened fire, fire was returned, man dead, blah, 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 right? That is the police's version of events. Then you will typically have some alleged or professed eyewitness giving another version of events. So we have two conflicting versions of events, right, sir?
But what about the body cameras?
Hold on, man. All right, sir. Good question again. I am advising you, sir, that body cameras are keep. Yeah? There are 750 deployed as we speak. 1,000 more of them is in procurement. The goal ultimately is to get to 8,000. But let us dial back to the substantive point here. There is a legitimate basis, sir, to defend oneself. If a police party goes out pursuant to an operation or the course of duty, and they are threatening their life based on their own assessment, let us say a man swinging a gun, point a gun at them and whatnot, yeah? That person is invariably threatening the life of the police. If a is pointing a gun at you, sir, a gunman pointing a gun at you, and you are a licensed firearm holder caller, what would you do? You'd give him a Devon House ice cream, double scoop, waffle cone, or would you take appropriate steps to defend yourself? Say again?
Because
no, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that a while ago. I didn't hear that. What was your initial response?
It varies on the situation.
It depends on the situation.
Police need proper training. The police need proper training.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you agree or do you disagree?
Sir, I put it to you, say the police is getting training. No,
but there
is always room.
But they are not getting
here I operate in life.
Do you remember when Horace Chung said shoot first and ask questions later?
Horace Chung said no such thing, sir. That is a comment that was attributed to Hugh Shearer some decades ago. Sir, that is a comment I gather that was attributed to the late Hugh Larson Shearer some years ago. The question about shoot first and ask question later. Sir, don't make up the stories in your head. Horace Chung has said no such thing about no shoot first and whatnot. The police are trained, sir, to defend themselves and the rest of us as members of the public. And so, the reason why I took you down this road, sir, is to make the point that, listen, it would be irresponsible without incontrovertible evidence to the contrary for any member of the JLP or anyone else in Jamaica to automatically conclude that an instance of police fatal shooting is something to be condemned. The police don't go out on their own volition, sir. The police go out in defense of us, the people of Jamaica. They are there to serve, protect, and reassure. They are employed so to do. And so, the key point, my brother, is that if the police act contrary to how they are supposed to act, there are appropriate mechanisms to detect that. As we speak, sir, there are 3 police persons who have now been convicted for irresponsible action. Have you ever heard the name Marlon?
Yes, but okay.
Very well. Do we have 3 police personnel who were convicted?
What about Kevin Smith? What about his case?
Sir?
What about the SSL laptops? Where did the SSL laptops go?
Why don't you ask me what about the Saharan dust?
I'm asking you.
No, man, ask me about the Saharan dust.
The dirty 30 and the diaspora.
Mr. Marsh, you're seeking to calling on the other line. Good morning, Mr. Marsh. Calling on the other line. The line you're seeking to call in on is engaged at present. So try and use the other number, Mr. Marsh. Sir, my good sir. One thing at a time. Kevin Smith, it is alleged, did something in the back of that vehicle that essentially saw the vehicle getting out of control, crash and man dead and whatnot. As far as I'm concerned, Kevin Smith is not somebody who I will be shedding any tears over. And I don't suspect many Jamaicans shed any tears in relation to Kevin Smith. But watch me now, sir. In very simple terms, police killings may either be lawful or unlawful, and until such time that it was deemed unlawful, yes, we cannot conclude and weaponize the term police fatal shootings in the way Jamaicans for Justice, in my view, has been doing. Because that's what has been happening, sir. An exploitation of the term and the weaponization of the term. Yeah? Any other wonderful question, sir? You want to ask me about the Sahara dust now? Oh, he's well, anyway, coming back to the matter at hand, see if you can try and get back. We want him to talk to us on air. We don't want any sidebars and any discussion in the margins. Listeners, news came through last afternoon that pursuant to a competitive recruitment process, the Financial Investigations Division, which was without a chief technical director, now has a newly minted chief technical director, someone who will be taking up the job in June. That person is patriotic, well-known and distinguished son of Jamaica, Dennis Chung. there are persons who have already gone out. Instead of congratulating Dennis Chung, who is a well-known, yes, patriotic, well and suitably qualified Jamaican, a man who has distinguished himself in many assignments and in many areas of national life, not least Jamaica's football as General Secretary for the JFF. Dennis Chung has so distinguished himself over the years that in a most unprecedented and unique way, Mike Henry had Dennis Chung serving on a particular state board, Ultimate Tires I think it is, during the Bruce Golding administration between 2007 and 2011. And when the government changed and Omar Davies replaced Mike Henry as Transport and Works Minister, Omar Davies elected to retain Dennis Chung as chairman, as a member of the board of Ultimate Tires. When Steve Ashley and the very incompetent Jennifer Edwards got into issues at the National Solid Waste Management Authority, the Riverton fire, that Sister P told us at the time that Jennifer Edwards didn't start the fire. Yes? When they got into issues and the entity was brought into disrepute and Steve Ashley had to resign as chairman of NSWMA, it was Dennis Chung, the Dennis Chung that Julian Robinson and I gather Peter Bunting are raising issues with today. It was the Dennis Chung, same man, who Sister P, Mrs. Portia Lucretia Simpson Miller, appointed as chairman of the National Solid Waste Management Authority in 2015 to fix the problem them where they done on NSWMA. Good morning, Mr. Marsh. Welcome to Straight Up.
Morning. You're brilliant. You're brilliant at chatting the four-letter word that dropped there in four-footed beast. But it's all right. You get that not straight. We know that.
Challenge any one of the observations I've made and let's go.
Listen to me.
You say what you say, I have a feel out of my punches.
If me in my house and the police come and call me out and me refuse to come out, you see? The police have the right to come in there for me.
If you're in the house and the police call you out,
to go about it.
The police is supposed to attend upon your residence, Mr. Marsh, with a warrant, or the police can pursue you if they have been pursuing you, having detected suspicious activity, and you are seeking to make good your escape.
And the police.
So like if you run into a building, if the police are pursuing and you run into a building, the police is well within law enforcement to go and pursue you. Yes, sir.
Listen to me one more time. I talk about in my house.
That's what I say warrant, sir. In that case, warrant. Warrant, brother.
And the police refuse to come out. What the police supposed to do? What first thing they must do? And what the second thing they must do? What the police do? What the police supposed to do?
Ideally, when the police come to your place, the police is supposed to be armed with a warrant. Yeah? And if the police come to your residence and they don't have a warrant, the police should take steps to seek your acquiescence.
So, the police have the right, if me no want to open the door, the police have the right to kick off the door, right? Come in and fire 2 shots in my head and come back out and tell the people them say, shoot out.
In other words, Sir Marsh, I can say no such thing or endorse any such thing because first and foremost, the police may have a legitimate basis if they detect or suspect that a crime is being committed or there is a degree of imminence in the commission of a crime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They can take steps to secure
the police
themselves and the members of the public.
The police can surround my house and the police can wait for time and the police can fire tear gas in the house to get me out of that house. Me inside them, me and fire no shot from inside the police. So don't come to the radio contact garbage. When the police go in the house, 2 shots fire.
Sir, again, I'm putting it to Mr. Marsh, cite for me which garbage I have spoken in relation to this matter or any other matter, for that matter.
You chat one. By the way,
You're alleging.
Just
Sure,
hold on.
I'm holding. Go ahead.
Who appeared for Bob the Green something the last night to revival business? Who appeared for it actually have this country?
Revivalism is a part of Jamaican cultural expression, Mr. Marsh. Babsy Grange, just listen what me I say, brother. Listen what me I say. You ask a question, listen what me I say now. Babsy Grange is the Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. That ministry has budget, yes, has financial resources that from time to time support entertainment events, sporting events, and indeed cultural events. Now, to the extent that revivalism, as you will concur with me, there's a program that you love a lot, Andre Stevens' program, where he deals in a lot of revivalism. The program starts with revivalism, Play Little David, and so on, right? Remember, Mr. Marsh, when you're on your bicycle, approach trailers with caution.
You chat about garbage.
Approach trailers with caution. But let us come back to your segue to the budgeting. I want to come back to. I want you to come back to the police thing. Go back with the police argument, my brother.
The thing that.
Go back to the police.
The gun them want to find. You suggested argument.
You hear what you say? The gun them want to find. A Jamaica find the gun, Mr. Marsh. Like me, you should be happy this morning that those 220 reported guns are not to be turned out into the streets of Jamaica.
Marlon, don't preempt anything. I am one of those who happy that they have been found. And you know what I'm worried?
Yes, sir.
I wonder how much got through.
Like myself, Mr. Marsh. Right. That is correct,
but
sir.
But suggested argument, we hear your suggested argument. If anybody from the other side, I got carrying them gun, they don't have food. We carry now a labor right man warehouse, you know. The same warehouse where some gun that are coming out when ready to other.
Well, I have not heard any report as to which warehouse it's coming to.
The same warehouse where some gun that are come out when ready to Adam sign out and to go down the Tivoli man easy enough.
Alright, Sir Marsh, I have not heard as yet. That's why I remember I was saying we are responsible. Well done, Sir Marsh. Mr. Marsh, I don't want to Mr. Marsh, just walk with me now. You said something a while ago, just allow my response. Because in very brief terms, all I'm saying is this, sir. The police have intercepted some things. And early on this program, I made mention that in the tradition of being responsible, we will await the police doing their work. I have not heard any definitive. Well, no, man. I have not heard where the police made interception. We know that it is a facility in Kingston so far, but we don't hear definitively which part.
Because you talk about desperate people.
Yeah, you have many desperate people.
You also know that desperate people who are holding on to power.
Well, watch me now, Mr. Marsh. You know what desperate people, Mr. Marsh? Good point. Hold on, Mr. Marsh. Hold on, you said something very important a while ago. There are desperate people like myself who want to hold on to power. I know what these desperate people do. We communicate the achievements of the government and we perform for the people of Jamaica. Like, for example, reducing crime, instituting a social pension, ensuring that people get tax break, ensure that people get 8 years of no new taxes, and because they want to keep power, they reduce crime.
Feel hard time. Them little crumbs that want to throw up
crumbs. Alright, that's a good point. Good point. No, the question is, Mr. Marsh, how much crumbs Portia did throw up on the ground? How much crumbs Portia threw? Portia gave us 60 billion in new taxes.
What's that damn blue that poor? We forgot supermarket, but
Mr. Marsh, when Simpson Miller, when Peter Phillips.
Listen,
yes, sir.
Portia Simpson in the past. We are talking about the
right
now. If you're
afraid of the past, right?
Criminal and doers.
We're afraid of the past. We're afraid of the past.
We are ready for talk about the past.
Mr. Marsh, call me back at 10:30. Call me back on your bicycle at 10:30. My trailer is on the road. Sir, we have to run to the NPR News. Call me back at 10:30, Mr. Marsh. Call me back at 10:30, Mr. Marsh. We're going to the break and we'll come back.
As far as I am concerned, Mr. Marlon Morgan has no credibility. Mr. Marsh, welcome to the program, sir.
Me glad you come on because I done with him for your side here. I have not more to say to you.
This man is sick. He's a mentally sick case. And News Talk 93 FM allow this despicable human being to be on the airwave.
It's a damn shame, man. It's a damn shame.
This is what journalism has gone through in this country. I have never in all my entire life, not even when Mutty Perkins and Barbara Bluden was on air, you hear such nonsense.
No, the people are dangerous, you know. But Jeffrey.
Yes.
Lawrence couldn't be on the Integrity Commission thing. Then couldn't be, right?
Right.
Because him and Gaetan Campbell are friend.
Right.
But
Dennis Chung can be appointed. Dennis Chung can be appointed to the FID.
Yeah. Strong can go now at head of the FID, you know.
Is it, hold on to me, Mr. Marsh. Mr. Marsh, is it that the senator is suggesting that the guns flying into Jamaica is members of the People's National Party doing it?
That's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing. And then they said damn fool and senator and labor right warehouse and industrial terrorists. Eh? That's what Marlon the pan News Talk 93 put out to people. Eh? News Talk 93 said that damn shame of themselves. And I see what they really do. Eh? And I seek relevant so me call him back. Call back what? Me can listen to the Marlon Morgan and the garbage.
The man will not allow anybody to talk. Because he's the new sheriff in town. In any other modern democracy. In any other modern democracy.
That's why when I talk to him, me not ease him up, you know. Me not ease him up because he want to behave like a runaway train and just chat. Me can play back sitting card too. But that's enough for him for the day. That's enough for him for the day.
All right, my friend.
Yeah, man. You take it easy.
Cool. In any other modern democracy, when Marlon Morgan put out a voice note and said that Jeffrey Tavares, Peter Bunting, hold on there for me. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Tavares, already.
I'm here looking and living.
Okay, I was listening to your show just now, and
it's not really my show, you know. It is a show that's going on in Jamaica that I decided to piggyback on this morning.
Okay. All right. I don't know if the government is really out of touch with the reality, but I can tell you, in the history of Jamaica, this administration is the worst.
Of course it's the worst.
Because
hold on there for me. Miller, who is on the program here, said that is why I love to watch Mr. Lonesome program. Marlon Morgan is not on the Make We Talk program, you know. Marlon Morgan is talking about the city of Jamaica. And I decided to care because I want to hear what he's saying. Why if you make caller?
Yes. Yesterday, my aunt called me and said that if they know anybody up by NIA.
Yes.
They said, what is the problem? She told me that it is 2 months now. She had not received her pension. And these are the things that Jamaican people are facing. And this man named Marlon Morgan, any well-thinking Jamaica right now who vote for the Jamaican Labour Party to stay in power, them not sorry for themselves, them not sorry for them pitney, and them not sorry for them family. Because at the end of the day, a man that has 28 bank accounts failed to declare his asset to the Integrity Commission.
what my say on that is that any politician who wants, any person who wants to become a member of parliament should sign the code of conduct in the office before
As
them can nominate.
As far as I'm concerned, this damn code of ethics don't mean a damn thing to the Jamaican people. Because you have sick, lame, and lazy, and thief, and everybody in the parliament.
Yes, I do agree. But at least that code of ethics would have, if the parliamentarian find himself or herself against that, the Integrity Commission can rein them in. So this administration, Mr. Tavares, I can't wait until the election call, because
election can call in, sir. Election can call in. I make this morning clear to the Jamaican people. Let me take off this thing here. Election can call, but the Jamaican people must stand up. I hear a rooster that in the background there.
Yeah,
the Jamaican people, sir, must get up. Let nobody pay them for another vote. Because $5,000 cannot serve you for 5 years.
Definitely, sir. And every time I go in the supermarket, if I go this week and pay 5,000, just don't say 5,000 match the other week. Because
you mean 6,000?
All right, them continue to say that there is no tax. Them not have no new tax, but indirectly, the food, the food are being taxed. Maybe government not putting up the GCT or whatever, but the food now that the Jamaican people are buying, tax are going on it each week, each month, and for the year.
And because that despicable human being on the radio station know that the Jamaican people, some of them don't understand certain fundamental whatever. He come on and he talk that kind of damn nonsense. I want to go back and listen to what he's saying, because he's gonna come back on now.
Okay, all right.
Let's listen to him. This is how we learn things in this country. We listen to these people and we pick sense out of nonsense. Let's go back over there and listen to what he's saying. I know a lot of people don't like the idea of me doing it, but I love to do it.
In our 1010 segment, and this morning we take a closer look at what's happening in relation to the findings of the nationwide Blue Dot polls. We know that there are revelations that have been coming out in the course of this week. We have had some indication as it relates to the question of the direction in which the country is going, the question of who the public trusts, question of in whom they repose confidence, and of course the job approval ratings of both the opposition leader and the Prime Minister, as well as a hypothetical question, listeners, as to who the public would vote for if it is that we had, if they were able to directly elect either Andrew Holness or Mark Golding. Yeah. So now we are joined by Dr. Nadine Spence, public affairs commentator. Morning, Nadine. Welcome yet again to New Start 93 FM.
Good morning, Marlon. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm going to start out, Nadine, with your assessment, your preliminary remarks, and reactions, as it were, to the polls based on some of the revelations that have been coming to hand so far. Of course, we're not yet at the point of party standings or voter intention in that regard. But while we await those findings, what we have had so far, your perspective as to what has come to the fore thus far.
Well, I guess it's sentiment that we all knew that there that Andrew Holness, in terms of the two leaders head to head, I think the polls have been consistent in recording that Andrew Holness ranked is more popular than Mark Golding. And that even though Mark Golding might have gained some points over the last 5 years since he started as opposition leader, he has not done so in an impressive way. It hasn't been with any kind of momentum to overtake the popularity of Dr. Andrew. So we're seeing that. I think one of the polls that I found very interesting, I think it came out yesterday, or the result was that Mr. Holmes was polling more better in 11 parishes as opposed to Mr. Golding in 2. But also interestingly, that there were some parishes like Westmoreland where the JNT usually
Do
enjoy
well.
a high
Traditional support.
favorability and performance that they are down in Westmoreland. There's always the belief that in order for the same people in the election, they have to win Westmoreland. So whether or not this bears out in the next election will be interesting to know.
Yeah. And what are you making so far of what the numbers from an undecided or the uncommitted voters are concerned? Because just to be clear, pundits will look to this cohort or this block of voters because they try to, well, they appreciate that, yes, the political parties have their respective bases. You have the base support for the PNP, the base support for the JLP, but the battle invariably will be in respect of the uncommitted voters. What are you making of that block of voters, the people who are, undecided in relation to the respective questions?
Well, it's who gets the momentum now going into the election. Interestingly enough, the polls reveal as well that Mark Golding has gained popularity at a faster pace than Andrew Holmes since the last poll, right? So, and his favorability has also improved in the sense that those who think he's doing badly, that he's fallen down in that the people are rating him less poorly, right? But also, I'm not sure, Marlon, we're seeing the election momentum picking up as this to see if the messaging around the election and the JP.
I can't go any further with this. Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. People, let's take off this thing here. Let's do a program of ourselves because this thing is, I've never in my entire life, in all my years of listening to radio, in all my years of going to journalism school, I have never, ever heard such nonsense spew. Never. And I don't understand why is it that News Talk 93 FM allow this despicable, I'm not afraid to say it, I apologize to no one. This despicable human being who Jamaican taxpayers is wasting money. These are the people we have in the parliament making laws for us. This despicable human being that they call a senator who do not fit to sit in the parliament of Jamaica. He lie in the morning, he lie in the evening, he lie every day. And he don't allow anybody to talk. He doesn't allow anyone at all to talk. We want to know who is paying. Yes, the Ministry of Culture has money to put on events. But this is the first time, if I can remember, that Babsy Grange is putting on a national revival concert last night. A young man, a 4-year-old young man, growing up baby, a 4-year-old baby, need a brain surgery. And you're gonna waste money to jump up and down and dance around table? Huh? And the Jamaican people is subject to listen to the likes of a Marlon Morgan spewing all sorts of damn nonsense. Huh? Spewing all sorts of nonsense. This is where Jamaica has gone. Is this the country that we're going to leave for our children? I don't understand this. Every single Wednesday and Thursday, this man come on air in Jamaica and he spew a whole bunch of lies. Poverty is not down in Jamaica. You know the amount of Jamaicans who went to their bed last night can hardly afford a nutritious meal? And all he can do is come on air and degrade people. Degrade Andre Stevenson. Degrade Jeffrey Tavares. Degrade Wilfred Rattigan. Marlon Morgan. You realize that Nestor Morgan was the Minister of Misinformation. And the crew around here shut him up? Marlon Morgan. Idiot Amin. Do you realize that when Nestor Morgan was Minister of Misinformation, Robert Morgan, we around here shut him up? You continue. You soon get shut up. We soon shut you up. You know how we get to shut you up? Ask Robert Morgan what we did. Go and ask Robert Morgan what the group around here did. I hear you call my name this morning. I don't love money, no. Rattigan don't love money either. You are a despicable human being. You are not fit to be in the Parliament of Jamaica. People like you are fit to go and serve at Riverton Dump. You, Marlon Morgan. You have been lying to the people left, right, and center. And you continue lying to the Jamaican people. And News Talk 93 FM should be ashamed of themselves to allow a despicable human being like you to be on the airwave. You're a despicable human being. The number to call is 954-529-8030. 954-529-8030. He's a despicable human being. He went on air. I'm going to find it. Like I try and find it here. Marlon Morgan sent out a voice note stating that. Good morning, Miss Winnie. How are you doing? You're breaking up, Miss Winnie.
Yes, I said, how are you, sir?
I'm here looking and living.
Oh, dear. All I can say to you, do you know that Marlon Morgan, every morning at 5 o'clock, it texts Andre, poor Andre, have enough of him. Listen, the phone is not so good. I'm going to call you back.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
What Andre need to do is block him. Him block me from him phone, you know. Marlon Morgan blocked me from his phone. Because I told him point blank. You know who my lawyer is. And as what Conrad O'Brien told him, you could wait 550 years. You will never get an apology. But we must show what kind of lie you tell. You're a liar. You're a pathological mendacious individual. You're a damn liar. You lie every day of your life. You're going to lie to the Jamaican people. You're a liar. You, Marlon Morgan, are a liar from the pit of hell. Take that to your pipe and smoke it. You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. I don't know why the senator have you inside here, the president of the Senate. When you realize that people come to you with the truth, you know what you do? You use that, you call them down. Miss Winnie, good morning again.
Yes, it's better. Tell Marlon Morgan he's a thief. He thief for this syrup, right? And he get caught. Okay, so never mind. He's an idiot. You know, he's looking friends. And why don't he go into the zoo and get some friends there? Huh? Don't he get paid to work? Why don't he go and work and leave decent people alone? Huh? You got to ask him not to call your name. He's a he's sick like Idi Amin.
But at least Idi Amin, they loving people. This one is a lie, no love nobody.
He don't love nobody. He's a clown. I wouldn't even bother. It makes every time I see his picture, just like his boss, I turn it upside down. Just cannot take the look of the man.
You know,
and he looks so rough.
Anybody who give him the name Idi Amin, you know, it's a very good name, you know.
I give him that name, you know.
You did?
Yes, an Andre program.
That's very good. But no, we the Jamaican people will rather swim in the blood. No, Peter Bunting, Mark Golden, Conrad O'Brien, Ralston Hyman, and Jeffrey Tavares. This Jeffrey fellow. We'd rather swim in the blood of the Jamaican people to get to Jamaica House. I'm tell you something.
Listen to me.
I'm tell you something, man, Morgan. I ain't not looking no power. Because if I wanted to be in politics, I could be in politics. And not hungering around like a lap puppy dog like you. Who's trying to get the crumbs from Andrew Holness table? But Wilfred Rattigan. But Mr. Rattigan don't want to be a commissioner of police. And if he was commissioner of police, he'll be locked up long time. Go ahead for me, Miss Winnie.
And Mr. Rattigan only want the good for the Jamaican people because his navel string buried in Jamaica. And he wants to see Jamaica back at the number one. This big noise man take over Jamaica and he's still and robbing the country. And he's still doing it. He's still making money.
You come on here and said you hear people talking about you on Ministry of Education. In every way you're working, never handle money yet. You sure? Marlon, are you sure you never handle money?
Of course he did.
Marlon Morgan, are you sure you didn't handle the money at the Ministry of Education and anywhere where you work? Huh. I tell you already, we shut up Robert Morgan around here. So you continue, we should shut you up. Go ahead for me, Miss Winnie.
But they don't realize Andrew's only using them, hoping that they will leave him alone. He's a big clown. He is the worst thing. He is a pit toilet. He need to bed. That's why his wife don't sleep in the same bedroom as him. Because she can't stand the smell of.
My God.
You're gone here? Yes. He smells bad. His armpit. I hear you here.
Miss Winnie. Yeah, Father, I stretch my hand to thee, O Lord. Remember that. That is why, you know. No. I think I'll be a police commissioner. That is why we are asking you to support this.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans abroad and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural reconnection rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Radigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica.
There you have it. That is why we wanted to support that, you know, and go over to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and donate. Go over to the Magnitsky Act and sign the petition. Change.org. Go over there and sign. You don't have to donate over there. We want to make sure that people who are not supposed to be in the parliament come out. That is why we're calling for constitutional reform. That we must have people who have the Jamaican people at heart sit in the parliament. Not those who get up every day and spew lies here and lies there. No more would we stand idle and allow this. No more. You're lying from the pit of hell. All of this come on program here and lie go and lie come. That is why we are encouraging the Jamaican people. Whenever such man, the Prime Minister, called the election, let nobody pay on if you not go out. Go out and vote. Go out and vote. Go out and vote. Jamaicans, I am asking you all. Go out and vote when the election is called. Let no one fool you. Go out and vote. I'm looking for something here that I want to play. Hold on a minute there for me. Hold on there for me, please. I'll see if I find it. Go out and vote. I'm going to put up the link. Hold on there. Make a see if I can find something I'm looking for here. Because I want to play this.
Yeah, so.
No, not this. This one? No, not that one. Oh, Daryl Vaz is saying that he and Action and is going back in. I can see if I find this thing here.
Whether you want
this one.
Celebrate the pitfalls or setback that Jamaica may suffer or not, no point will be scored for you or the pathetic PNP of which you are a part. I want you to understand that in very clear terms, because you guys are at a new low in terms of just how pathetic you guys are. Mar Golding, Conor the Brand, this Jeffrey fellow, Ralston Hyman, Peter Bunting, you are.
But look on this little fly by night, pitch by day, little boy. I am the Jeffrey Tavares. Have some respect for the name. You're damn rude and about it. I am the Jeffrey Tavares. Have some respect for the name. But this Jeffrey fellow. You're damn out about it.
A pathetic set seeking to essentially celebrate negatives. So what do travel advisories mean in the grand scheme of things?
for people who rely on our tourism product. You don't even care about that. And that's why I said what I said last week. You guys would want to get to Jamaica House, even if it means swimming in the blood of your Jamaican brothers.
Now tell me something now. In any other modern democracy, a senator of the parliament of any country says something like this, he'll be called up for it. Good morning, welcome to the Mekwita program. You're live.
Morning, Jeffrey Brownstow.
Brownstow, Wagwan.
You know, I did call in on that.
I heard him, and he will allow you to talk.
You know, yeah, in just a talk, up here, Alice Papa time attack, man. So what it is that guy elected or was he appointed?
No, he's appointed as a senator. Senators are not elected. He's appointed to the Senate post by the Prime Minister.
Because everything that comes from this guy is the misleading.
Tell the word, man, he's a damn liar. He's a liar.
Big liar. He did not answer the question about the sexual registry.
He can't say.
Offenders registry.
He can't say because him knows some people. Jeffrey shut them out this morning. Some of them in the
parliament. Because it is public information.
Some of them in the parliament are sexual molesters. There are some good people in the parliament. Some very good people in the parliament. But there are some inside there, they are child molesters and human traffickers.
And the whole police system is unprofessional. Because I call the police station, I am in US, you know. I am in the West Coast.
Yes.
I called the police station last week, I think it was Thursday, to give them a report about something somebody in Jamaica called me and tell me.
Mm-hmm.
The person is afraid to go and get themselves involved in the police station. The report didn't involve the person just witnessed it, right?
Yes.
So I called them and I made, it was a, you know, she was just so rude to me, Jeffrey. She didn't even give me her name, you know. You know what she tell me?
Mm-hmm.
I cannot make a report and she cannot take my statement as valid because I didn't witness it. The person who witnesses have to come down there and fill out necessary documents, right?
She may have a point there, though, you know. She may have a point there. I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah, you know, you're probably right there, but if you think about that, right, it involved a pastor.
Oh? The pastor.
And this is my question.
No, hold on. You hold on a minute for me now. Hold on for me now. Let the person call me and talk to me off here. Hey?
Yes, I'm trying to get a hold of them. They watch you, they watch Andre, and they watch few other programs. I urge them to call. But this is my question, right? If someone is a sexual offender in the US and they come to Jamaica, what happens to that sexual offender history? Does it follow or is it null and void?
No, it's supposed to come out with them and Jamaica supposed to follow them. Hold on, I'm making something then. Hold on there. This pastor or this big shot. You have a church by Spanish Town Road?
I kind of give you the name already, you know, because in a ways. Because if I know there was a pastor that is a sex offender in the US.
In Brooklyn, New York.
And he is now in Jamaica practicing.
Yes, in Brooklyn, New York. He raped
and then
a 15-year-old or 14-year-old child. That what they call it, member of in church. And
these parents,
yes,
they need to stop blow up them kids at church.
No,
if the parents not going to church with the kids them don't need to go to church. Because this is the root of all of this.
You met them call me because I come on here the other day pertain to one, you know. Who him grind Jeffrey behave yourself in the here. Who sexually assault one of members in a church in Brooklyn. And he's in Jamaica running church now. And the CPSA or the CDA not doing a thing about it. In
the
police, JPS
the police not doing a thing.
In JPS light for running church. In the past Spanish Town Road. I don't remember my name right now. He's a well-known sex molester in the United States and deported back to Jamaica.
These pastors have police on payroll, you know.
Yes, they have police on payroll.
These pastors have police on payroll. That is why, Jeffrey, I bring it up. But you see that Kevin Smith case?
Yes.
Then go and then take out the man's laptop. What was on that laptop?
Good question.
Was there wire transfers? We know of the foolishness to keep on laptop, you know.
All right. I can't sit and keep on laptop if I not there sitting there.
Yes. And this gunman pastor business. This man get me so bringle, this man damage my family, you know. And I call and make report about him as far as me there. I must say Jamaica, me have to come and make nice.
Hold on there. You better make me talk off here, you know.
Yes, man, really mislead my family, man.
All
this guy is ridiculous.
All Babsy
yes.
doing is in a
see, I woke up behind now.
Hold on there for me, man.
All
Babsy Grange busy doing in a revival church that jump Kunuma. And they said don't trouble Zion because they want to win the election. But God not like ugly. I want to know the name of the pastor who the sexually molested the girls in the churches in this country. Stop touch the pit in them down there on a nasty, dirty, stinking pastors and bishops in this country. Somehow, you know, there are some decent ones, there are some nasty, dirty ones. Just like someone in the parliament. They're nasty and dirty. I said, and they make laws. Oh, no, wait. Give me the name of this man. You hear me? You make me and you talk.
Yes, this ridiculous, you know, Jeffrey. And you know what is a scam? Is a big disgrace to Jamaica. The police impound. Where they take your vehicle and thief your parts off it and sell your parts. This has been going on. All the Ford Ranger where they running at the vehicle where I transport Kevin Smith. It was over there and they move it. And inside link informed me that it was an undercover police vehicle.
Oh.
And we don't know, just so they can trace the drill. Trace that Ford Ranger. How many was on the island at that time and date?
Hello. The Ford Ranger down there. Park up in a somebody yard now. Different VIN number, everything you turn there.
And the Chinese mechanic, the government of Jamaica need to hire them. Fix back the people, them things, man. All the fisherman boat, pull up the man boat, take off your man engine.
Who take off man engine?
The police, them sell engine to them cronies.
Them thief too, you see?
Jeez,
the country gone. When you can't have churches in this country you can run to, something is fundamentally wrong. You have so nasty, dirty pastors. Listen to me. Me did no one. And I call CDA till I tired and I do nothing. Make it clear. Anybody touch my nieces and my nephews, you know. I gonna turn Senator Lambert Brown, who said in the parliament, it's jungle justice. You have some nasty, dirty pastors who up on the pulpit, one in a St. Thomas right now do the same thing. Make a key. Hello, please.
I just want to make it stand, Jeffrey. Who is the head of church in Jamaica?
Everybody want to turn big shot. Everybody want to turn doctor this and doctor Metropolitan Premier for the whole Hill Zion Church.
Because there has to be something legally and lawfully done about this. How do we do it, Jeffrey?
Me and you we talk because me have certain people me can call.
This is outrageous, you know, because I know there's a lot more out there that me and you on the air, social media don't know.
You have some of them, you know. Then put you up in the church. You see? And then say, boy, you must draw closer to the Lord. That's what I'm talking about. Know God for yourself. Know God for yourself. Stop making some hello. You have some very decent, respectful bishop and pastors in this country, you know. But you have some nasty, dirty ones. Don't get me wrong, you know. You have some nice bishop and pastors in this country. Even this young lady on Facebook who's preaching, I remember her name. Decent young lady. Beautiful young lady. When she preach, man, you feel it. But you have some of them, they're not chopping their tongues. Tonight I shall see you in the best rubber mama sauce. Yeah. Who stole the Honda?
God have mercy. These police killings need to stop too, you know, Jeffrey. Because I don't understand here in US. I see them carry out standoffs and etc. Warrant and stuff, right? Bounty hunter come around the place. I never see them shoot or kill nobody. I see they apprehend them. You see what I say? They apprehend the man. All the man have unsound mind, then shoot one net row.
Yes. Because the bullet then free.
You see what I say? It's just crazy, Jeffrey.
If
this needs to stop.
If they couldn't get to kill me and then kill me, yo.
You know what they want to do? They want to create unrest in Jamaica to affect the election.
Well,
that is what they want to do.
Well, I don't know, you know, but whatever is going on, it needs to stop. Whatever is going on, it needs to stop. And I'm glad you bring back this thing to my attention with these pastors and these bishops in the revival movement. The revival movement, I'm afraid of nobody. And God protect me. And God give me a voice to speak for the less fortunate of our country. You have some nasty, dirty revival pastors. Not all of them, some of them. But then a drill band. I'm molesting little young girls and little young boys. You think I don't know, no? I've been very quiet, you know. There's a lot of things I know that I don't say nothing. A full time. And someone have big inspector police this in on the back pocket. In a St. Thomas. What hate for me, sir?
Yes, you know, Jeffrey, this is absurd. This is very absurd because this Obia thing, this dark tourism thing, if there is a petition I need to sign or I could sign, I vote against it. Hello. Even though
they couldn't have
the Obia need.
They couldn't have 1 million more dark, this and dark. That I'm afraid of nobody.
It needs to be something that you can get charges if you practice Obia. Because this is damaging the families of Jamaica. This is taking away the poor people money. You know, you have people where leave them nice place and spend their last at Jamaica, forgot to say Obia man and come back and eat tea and crackers. Because they spend all of them money and give Obia man for prosperity. Remember that the diaspora contribute to this problem, you know, before they come out to make a protest for what go on.
Them can't protest, they come and go go over, man, I'll get all foul. Them chicken foul.
Yes, Jamaica needs a full reset.
So hold on now.
Full
Hold
reset.
on there for me. Back to me and you talking about this pass-through.
Mm-hmm.
This is going on for a long while.
As far as what do you mean? I make a report about him last week, but that was the first time. This was a separate. I called before I make reporting, but this was from about a separate pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened.
All right. Hold on there for me, please. Hold on there for me. I have something coming into me. The communication arm of the PNP just sent me something a while ago. Hold on. This is Make We Talk breaking news. This is a breaking news, a emergency press conference. The People's National Party will address troubling issues facing the country at a press conference. So there will be a press conference this morning, and the press conference will be headed by the President of the People's National Party, Leader of Opposition, Mr. Mark Golding, Dr. Dayton Campbell, Shadow Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mr. Julian Robinson, Shadow Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Senator Peter Bunting, Shadow Minister, Shadow Citizens and Security. He's the Shadow Minister of National Security, I should say, sorry. So it will be 12 o'clock this afternoon, and we're bringing to you live on the Make We Talk program. We are going to end this program here and restart it over, because we don't want to have any press conference affiliated with Idiot Amin. You understand what I mean? We don't want Idiot Amin press, we're not involved in this. So we're not end this live feed pretty soon and start a live feed where we'll be joining the People's National Party for a press conference at 12 p.m. Jamaica time. That's 1 p.m. US time. That's an emergency press conference by the People's National Party this afternoon at 12 noon in Jamaica, 1 p.m. in the United States. And the press conference will be headed by the Leader of the Opposition and President of the People's National Party, Mr. Mark Jefferson Golding, Opposition Spokesperson and National Security, Senator Peter Bunting, Opposition Spokesperson and Finance and the Public Service, Mr. Julian Robinson, Opposition Spokesperson in Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Dayton Campbell. That this evening, and it's also the appointment, the press conference will be about the appointment of Mr. Dennis Chung to the Board of the Financial Investigation Division, FID. Sorry. And other pressing issues facing the government. So that will be on the 2. Paul, are you still here with us?
Yes. Real quick before you run, it was a church near, is it Ward? I think it was Ward Avenue in Emmanuel.
Uh-huh.
It was the pastor of that church there. But the issue was, it was the mother, right? So it's like, say, these people, some of these people in the country is so poor. And when you become poor, you become desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, say, in sweeter terms or shorter terms, basically,
mm-hmm.
the mothers are taking money or bribes from these pastors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dropping off their daughters to these pastors.
Yes.
Some of them, not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the report. I made that report, I would say, maybe 3 months ago.
Hold on for me. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Just hold on for me, please. We'll take a quick break.
Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half-truths and trick you into voting for them, and then when them win, them throw on poison for you.
100 days to fix election date. Still I wait for the promise before the field.
Welcome back to the program. We have another call coming in. Go ahead for me, call. You have 2 minutes.
So yes. So what I did was I called and I made a report, right?
Yes.
Somebody took my report down and they told me to call back within a week. I called back in a week. The person who I spoke with asked me for the case number. I gave them the case number, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're telling me that case number and report don't exist.
Hold on there. You called to tell them that a child has been molested, and that's what they told you?
Yes.
You and I have been not talking. Let you and I talk. All right?
Yeah. This is crazy, Jeffrey. But you know what? I will yield to the next caller.
All right, man. Thanks much.
All right, no problem.
Let me check this call here. My good friend, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Good morning, Jeffrey. How are you doing?
I'm here looking and living like the late Mutty Perkins.
Oh, yes, I'm doing well. I'm doing well myself, giving thanks.
Yeah, man, you're live and here.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Morning to the listeners as well.
Indeed.
I'm just appalled by the things that I'm hearing on the news.
Yes.
About the recent appointments. And so I think it is safe to say that Jamaica has officially turned into a banana republic. I think it's safe to say that. The Prime Minister is being investigated, and he then appoints his friend and loyalist to head the branch that is investigating him. Now, any well-thinking Jamaican or anybody at all, what outcome are you expecting to get from this?
I don't know what they're planning.
You're not gonna nothing, because the friend surely is not going to speak out against him or to lead any mode of conviction. He's not. As a matter of fact, I am inclined to believe that this appointment is simply to destroy and get rid of whatever incriminating evidence they might find against.
That's true.
This appointment is an effort to suppress the truth. And the Jamaican people deserve to know the truth. It is full time for these elected representatives. It is full time for them to be held accountable for their mishandling of the country's economy, for their many acts of corruption against the nation.
Indeed. Indeed.
So he's bankrupt with ideas. He's totally out of ideas. And right now what he's doing, he's trying to cover his filth.
True.
As it were. Cover his filth. But also he's also trying
to deceive the people by going around and doing all these unfinished ribbon cuttings. You know, gets his and Mark, you know, he is
Justice, I do apologize to you. I have an emergency conference call coming in. I may have to cut this live now. I have to go to this conference.
Okay.
Call. So can you call me back, please?
All right, comrade, no problem.
Okay. I want to say thanks everyone for coming on. Thank you all for being a part of this program. We gotta cut this program now and then go back to this. They're joining back for the live coverage, okay? Thank you.